All right, so EQ and multi-band compression. I am a huge fan as of the last couple of months of using multi-band compression on vocals. I saw a demonstration by the Tony Maserati on, you like that, the Tony Maserati on a Waves YouTube channel, and he explained it extremely well. Helped me to start to understand and feel when and where I could use multi-band compression. Maybe I can put a link to that for you guys, but if you go to YouTube, it's easy to find. Just type in Tony Maserati Waves C4, and there's a great video on multi-band compression. The way I'm going to start this video is I'm going to cover an EQ principle that I use that I picked up from Dave Pensato on Pensato's Place. He really laid it out very nicely, and I'm going to try to do a good job of explaining that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to a section of the vocal, and I'm going to loop, even just coming out of here, give it a little soft spot to it. And I'm going to try to walk you through the best I can. So we've talked about cutting lows in the vocal and how important that is to cleaning up the performance, to get that the low frequency crap out of there. I don't know how else to put it, just the stuff that is not necessary in a vocal. And I've boosted that up to about 95, so we're cutting everything below. Now what I want to talk to you about is increasing, boosting with EQ on a vocal for mid-range. And specifically in about the 1K region, you've got a sweet spot in most vocals between, I'd say, 700 and 1.2. It just depends on the song, depends on the singer, it depends on the mic a lot. There's a sweet spot in there that I like to boost, enhance in the vocal. And instead of boosting, say, 5, 6, 10 dB, which I have done sometimes, instead of doing that, what you can do is you can find that by just boosting 3 or 4 dB in that region and then cutting a little bit around it, you can enhance what you're boosting instead of having to boost it as much as, like we talked about, 10 dB. Cut a little bit around it and then boost. Let's take a listen to what this does. Let's put these both back at 0. I'm going to turn the band off, and then we're going to massage those into play. I'm even going to pull this guy a little tighter and pull it down. We're going to hit play, and let's listen to what we can achieve with EQ. Now remember, this EQ is after the initial compression and the de-essing that we did. This is after our parallel compression gets blended in. They're both meeting at this EQ. So we are effectively EQing the blend that we like with this EQ right here. So let's take a listen and see what we can get.
When gold and medals on my high, there was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and here our love devoured by this lion of deceit, to quench your guiltless feet, he squeezed and gleamed.
Yeah, I really like that part, that spot right there. That seems to be a nice sweet spot for this song. We wanted to cut. We don't want to go too low, but we don't want to go too high either, because between 2 and 5K, really things start to get pretty harsh. So let's listen one more time without that.
When gold and medals on my high, there was a time you used to roll,
Now with it.
where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day.
Bypass.
Oh, and here our love devoured by this lion of deceit,
Yeah.
to quench your guiltless.
So there's our mid-range boost. There's our sweet spot. I'm liking what that's given us. Now what I want to do, I want to see if I can get a little bit more by pulling out at some of these lower frequencies, just to try to enhance that peak right there without having to push this up too high. So let's take a look at that.
When gold and medals on my high, there was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and here our love devoured by the lion of the sea.
Okay, so let's take a listen at that top, a little more height.
When gold and medals on my high, there was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and here our love devoured by this lion of deceit. To quench a careless feet, he squealed.
Now I'm going to select these two bands. Something I love about this EQ. This EQ is not essential to a great mix, but there's just some tools that have some features that can help you save some time and do some things, be able to experiment in ways that maybe you can't with a stock. But by no means is this a must-have for mixing. But I like to bypass this. And so let me see if I got both of those selected. Let's see, am I able to bypass? No, I thought I could, but it looks like it bypasses one at a time. But I can control them at the same time. So let's see how much reduction we want with this.
Rolling gold and medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and here our love devoured by this lion of deceit. To quench a careless feet, he squealed and gleamed.
Okay, cool. Now let's bypass this whole EQ and see if it even helped the track.
Rolling gold and medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another.
I think it's helping out a lot. We're bringing out that mid-range in the vocal. We're helping that that fundamental frequency that just sounds nice and sweet to help push the vocal forward in that range. We're giving the vocal its own sense of space. We're not doing anything crazy. We've got a couple of dB here, 3 dB. We could boost that a little bit more. Let's see what happens if we boost it more.
Rolling gold and medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another.
I like it right at about 3.5 dB, and it sounds pretty sweet. Now let's see what happens when we tighten the band.
Rolling gold and medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll,
Back where it was.
where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in
It's a much smoother boost whenever we gently boost the sides of it as well. We widen that band a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind there. But that's pretty basic foundational EQ principle that I use across most songs, is to find that frequency, to boost it a little bit, to cut a little bit left and right of it. 2K, you got to be careful because that's a lot of where the syllable, I don't want to say articulation, but the pronunciation of the tone or of the words, the understandability of the words can live in this range quite often. And so you got to be careful. If you cut that too much, you're going to lose some of that. But some good stuff there. Moving on to multiband. Now, how I use multiband compression typically is going to be from my lower mid frequencies. I've got a preset here I'm going to show you, but it's less about the preset and it's more about the concept. I am actually going to clear this out. We're not even going to look at that for now. This is a flat multiband compressor. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to show you OTT. I'll tell you what, all over the place. I'm going to show you OTT first. What we're going to do is, this is a free plugin. That's why I'm going to show you first. Excuse me. So let's pull open. This is X for Records. If you haven't already picked this up, excuse me again, Google X for Records OTT and download that. Pause the video, go get it if you don't have it yet. And then we're going to dial the depth back all the way. Now, I don't even think they market this as being good for vocals or anything like that. I don't even think they market it. But I put this up on a female vocal recently, and I like the results that I got. You know, just kind of slide this depth up, and let's see what it gives us. If we like it, if we don't, we ditch it and we move on to something else.
Rolling gold and medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and he.
Now, I heard, whenever I bypassed it, I heard how much my ear had already got accustomed at around 25, 23%. And it's doing quite a bit of work at even just that. So I'm going to back this down to 0 again. I'm going to give it another shot.
Rolling gold and medals on was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty upon your face. There was hope in another day. Oh, and here our love devoured by this lion of deceit.
So you got to be careful. I hear some high frequency stuff coming in. It's a little bit harsh, a little bit sharp to my ear. But you can hear how a multi-band compressor like this, a free plugin, can already kind of excite and enhance that vocal performance. You just got to be careful with the frequencies. Something I might do is if I put this on, let's move my Pro MD down here. If I put this on and I'm starting to hear some of those frequencies get kind of sharp or harsh, I would take an EQ and then find them.
Rolling golden medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine.
Yeah, so I hear it kind of happening around that 7.5, which is where we're de-essing. But let's pull down maybe a little bit there.
Rolling golden medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll.
And that 1 dB and a half is already kind of helping out that ought to not be so harsh. Let's bypass this.
Rolling golden medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll, where the sunshine plenty.
And then sometimes don't be afraid to pull down another one. Let me see. I got that as a shelf. Let's make it a bell and tighten it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to duck a little bit there as well. It starts to get too harsh on you.
Rolling golden medals on my high. There was a time you used to roll,
And then before,
where the sunshine plenty.
yeah, so a little EQ adjustment here and there. I do this with everything. Just pull up an EQ, see what you can do, see if you can reshape it a little bit without having to go back here, because remember, this EQ is what is going into the de-esser, which is then going into the multiband. So if you go back here and you manipulate this, let's say I could have pulled that down, it might have worked. It might have worked really well, but that's more is happening with this EQ boost than just a little bit at 7.5 or 10K. So by manipulating that and pulling that back down, you're going to essentially affect how this de-esser is working, how the multiband's reacting, and I'd prefer to just add another EQ and to do a little touch-up. So I do this with all kinds of stuff, effects, sends, distortions, and I think that sounds pretty cool. Let's get rid of that, and let's pull open the Pro MB, because I want to show you this is extremely important to the workflow, how I'm mixing vocals. Let's go to like a softer section over here. Let's kind of listen in on the verse to here. And what I want to pay the most attention to first, I want to start this demonstration with the low mids. I'm going to try to get this out of the way. Let's pull that there. And I'm going to just click with this guy. Think of this as aught being a multiband compressor. This is a multiband where you have control over pretty much everything. Boost, cuts, EQ, the attack, the release. I use this for my sidechain compression with kick and bass. A lot of you guys may have seen that on the YouTube channel. But I'm just going to start. I'm going to work with a full band from probably 250, 300. Let's try 285. Let's see what's going on in that range with the vocal. We can solo that. See, this is getting a little bit higher. I want to control just the low stuff, so I'm going to pull it back down. Okay, so about 320 is my my point. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set my attack, my range, my release. I'm going to set these preferences here in the threshold. I'm going to see what we've got going on.
Make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I want back.
Okay, there's a great example. The beginning of this, we've got some low frequencies that are building up a little bit, and we want to control those. But then when he goes higher on the register, when he sings higher, there's not a buildup of low frequencies, so it leaves them alone. Watch that real carefully here. You're going to see some movement on the compressor.
Make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I want back.
Halfway I wants, that is not getting touched at all, because there's no low frequencies there to deal with. So that's a great example of that. Let's go back again and let's set some of these attack and release settings.
We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged.
And
Oh,
now let's hear without it.
we'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway. We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged.
Yeah, so there's something really sweet going on to help control it a little bit. With this particular vocal performance, I'm almost feeling like we may want to boost a little bit of the low mids, give it a little more fullness at around 200. But this will help control it. This technique is going to be to help control and to restrict any one frequency from becoming too dominant or too powerful in the performance. So let's move forward to, the attack and release times, that's really to taste, to feel. I like to set it fast. I don't like it to be slow. I like it to be able to recover quick enough to be able to control those frequencies. So I found that even just leaving these in place, you can argue that those are extremely important and you can go in and dial them in for yourself. But even just listen to that.
Make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh,
so watch what happens when I slow it down.
We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I want.
So you can see it reacting a lot slower. I want to boost that back up.
We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged.
Yeah, so I like that a lot quicker. Almost think about the way that we did our peak limiting with the 1176. We want to get this in, get this out. I want it to hit it, to control it, knock it down real quick, but I don't want it to stay inactive or stay active for the phrases that don't need it, that don't need to control the low frequencies, like we talked about with the higher part right there. So that's the first thing that I want to control. The other thing that I want to look at is some of the top end. Let's take a listen. Let's go in order here. Let's take a listen and see if there's anything in the mids.
We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead I strangled on. We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh.
Let's see what it's doing here.
We'll make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged.
Let's go to this high point again.
Meet me halfway, I
bypass it.
Meet me halfway, I once begged. Meet me halfway, meet me halfway, I once begged.
This is maybe a bit too much.
Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall.
Man, I love getting to love multi-band compression. I really like the vibe that's given us. You got to be careful to your ear. You can get too used to it, like I described with the aught. You can get to listening to it and vibing to it, and then you take it away, and you're like, oh, that's quite a bit. So don't forget to bypass and go back, A/B what you're doing, volume match, and make sure you really are happy, and then it's not just louder and more exciting. Compare, use your reference, like we talked about, and that'll help you keep yourself in check. Moving on, let's do another band and see what we can achieve with maybe just under the point where we were de-essing, and see what we can have happen with this 1K and up.
Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall. Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall.
So I'm not feeling like that's going to be necessary, but what I want to do is I want to pull in this, I got to remember how to, let's undo that band. Go right here. Okay. I want to put another band up here, and I want to set it between about 2 and 5K, because that tends to be where things get to be pretty harsh. And pull it down maybe like in the 5K region. Now let's listen to this frequency.
Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead. Meet me halfway, I once begged.
So without it would be.
Meet me half.
Sorry, without that band there.
Meet me halfway, I want.
And with it,
Meet me halfway, I want
let's
back.
exaggerate the heck out of it here.
Meet me halfway, I want. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. Meet me halfway, I want back. Meet me halfway, I. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on.
All right, so it's a little bit of cleanup there. Let's listen with before and after the compressor in the mix.
Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, meet me halfway, I want back. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh,
I feel like we're almost messing with it a little bit too much. Let's see. Let's listen again.
meet me halfway. Meet me halfway, I want back. Meet me halfway. Meet me halfway,
I feel like I could use a little more fullness out of this. So let's put the multiband away for a minute. This is all part of mixing vocals, is trial and error, experimenting. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use, let's see, I'm going to try putting a Pultec. Just give a little more fullness to this vocal.
meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall. Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on.
Yeah, so to explain what the Pultec's doing, there's a great video on the Pro Audio Files. Go YouTube Eric Tarr, and I believe he uses Waves Q Clone to show the frequency curve of the Pultec. But essentially, this Pultec at 100 is a very wide shelf, and when you boost that, you can then attenuate or cut. I can't remember the technical side of it, but you can then attenuate frequencies just below it, I believe. I don't remember if it's above or below, but then you can kind of, I use my ears, so I'm more of a taste and feel kind of guy, but the attenuation really helped to kind of make it a little more gentle of a boost, and I like what that does. So around 100, you can do the same thing with a stock EQ. If you bypass that, you can come over here, let's add another Pro Q, and put yourself a boost, go up to like 100.
Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall.
I really like that. Let's play before.
Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on.
And then after with the Pultec.
Meet me halfway, I want back. Oh, instead I strangled on.
And then with it.
You just stood and watched me fall.
Yeah, it kind of adds a fullness to it that I really like. So trial and error. We're moving on. We've got some more EQ. We're touching up the vocal. We've done some multiband compression to control some of those low end frequencies. Let's hear how that affects this short section here, the verse. Let's pull up in the multiband and see what's happening.
Well, when I was head.
Yep. Well, that's it's hitting it. So bypass.
Well, when I was. Well, when I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. Oh.
Very nice. All right, guys. So hopefully you're enjoying this process so far. This has been the kind of the foundational work of what I'll do to a vocal as I'm working through it with the EQ, the cleanup, the compression, the parallel compression, the harmonic saturation, all this good stuff that we've been doing. Now we're going to jump into effects and how those effects, when used subtly across the board, from light hints of vocal slap, delay, widening, reverb, chorus, how those things can contribute to the overall vocal sound and help it warm it up, become more full, or thin it out depending upon what style we're working in. But for this song, we're going to jump in. I'm going to touch briefly on all those things, show a bunch of different room sounds, a bunch of different delay types, and then we're going to jump from there into the specific genres. And I'm going to help you mix those genres. We're going to do that together, kind of do a walkthrough and show some stylistic things that are different between the multiple genres. So I'm yapping. Let's jump over to that next video and we'll see you there.